Hey guys, welcome to week 11 of my 12-week challenge of my plant-based challenge. I think I just said that twice, didn't I? If you're wondering why I sound like I have a frog in my throat, we'll get to that. This is basically a huge part of what is going on right now. So on Monday, I ran a 4-mile race. And this had been scheduled for, I don't know, a couple of months before that, because when I did my 5K, I got bit by the running bug and I wanted to start doing some more races. So a friend of mine was doing this race on July 4th, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it with you. It's in downtown Columbia. Excuse me, if I drink water, you'll understand. So anyway, leading up to this race on Monday, I had some very, very mild symptoms. I had a little bit of congestion, a little bit of tiredness, but that was it. Like nothing else. I had no other symptoms. And so I got up on Monday morning. I felt good, I didn't feel bad. So I get dressed and I go up there and it's, pumped up for the race and everything. And so I start going, and the first 2 miles were pretty good. I did notice that my pace was slower than usual. My heart was working harder than usual. My heart rate was getting up faster than it normally did. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's the adrenaline. But it stayed working pretty hard the entire time. The last 2 miles, I was really struggling. But I just kept pushing through. I was like, no, I can do this. And I ended up running, the entire 4 miles. My pace was about 30 seconds slower than my last race, and I couldn't figure out why. I was like, what is going on here with my heart and my pace being slower? And I got super sweaty. Like, I do sweat some, but I'm not like a big sweater. I'm not a horse sweater, if that makes sense, if you've ever heard that term. But when I was done, I was drenched, like totally just drenched in sweat, and I was disoriented. The drive home, I was worried because it was like a 30-minute drive, and I'm sitting there going, okay, just, pull yourself together. You're exhausted. So I go home. I get home, and I am still just super sweaty. And so I took a shower, and I got out of the shower, and I was like, I need a nap. So I laid down, took a nap, which wasn't normal. The last time I did my 5K race, I had all the energy in the world. I was doing chores and, just like I was on cloud 9 with the emotional high that I got from doing that race and everything. But this time it was different. And so I took a nap. I woke up. I still had severe fatigue the rest of the day. My heart rate would not come down. It was hanging out around 80 beats per minute, and my resting heart rate since I started running, it's around the upper 50s. So when it wasn't coming down from 80 the rest of the day, and then I spiked a fever, and my temperature hangs out in the mid 97s. Well, when it jumped up to 99.7, I'm sitting there going, okay, I haven't had a fever in like 8 years. Literally, something's wrong. So, I go to bed that night. I'm feeling lousy. I was laid up on the couch the rest of the day. The fatigue, the fever, I was not feeling good at all. And so the next morning, my mom brought me a COVID test because she had one. And I was like, all right, I'll take it, just to see if this might be what I have, since this came on so fast. Because I was thinking maybe it could have been the flu, or it was overexertion. I took that test, and if you've taken the home test, it's got the 2 lines, and it says that even if the lines are faint, then it's a positive test. There was nothing faint about these. I mean, they were like screaming at me, yes, positive, COVID, yay. So this is my first experience of having COVID, in 2 years of all this going on. And, I'm surprised because of our kids, being in school, and just, we don't live in the middle of nowhere. And, so anyway, I was shocked, but that this was the first. But I will say, this experience has been pretty humbling, because I'm pretty healthy, and I was just like, oh yeah, if I get COVID, I'll be fine. I'll have like super mild symptoms. And I still wonder, did this race really just throw me into this violently? Because I really think that it did, because I was pushing my body to the max whenever my immune system was, struggling. And then I pushed it too hard. I would not recommend running a 4-mile race with COVID. So of course, hindsight is 2020, but I will say that this has been a bit of a learning experience. And I've read about athletes that it's actually easier for athletes to know when they're getting sick before they actually get sick, because your heart rate is actually elevated before you start to really show symptoms. And leading up to it, I was tapering before this race. So I wasn't tracking my heart rate. I was taking it easy. On Saturday before the race, I just did a 3-mile walk. Like, I wasn't tracking anything. I wasn't, it was just yoga and walks. I was just taking it easy. I wanted to make sure I preserved my energy. So, of course, knowing now, if I could have known that then, I would not have run a 4-mile race with COVID. But I made it through. Lesson learned. This is definitely one thing that I will pay attention to, as far as my heart rate and getting sick. And that's why I sound like I have a frog in my throat. Thank you, COVID. Thank you, Rona. I guess I'll just name the frog Rona, maybe. But what I have been doing is I've been taking vitamins. A friend of mine is a nurse. Thank you, Shannon. So I've been bugging her, texting her about, what I can do. And she was just suggesting different vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D. So just, different, magnesium, melatonin. There are so many different things that can help. Of course, eating your fruits and vegetables. One thing that I have noticed, I used to have chronic sinus infections for years. And, it would get so bad that I could not breathe through my nose at all. Well, even though I've had the intense pressure and pain in my forehead and my face and everything, and the headaches, the congestion just really hasn't been bad. It started to go down into my chest yesterday, and so I've just kind of been monitoring that. I want to make sure I'm, moving a little bit. Although I do like catching up on movies, and I've been catching up on a lot of Marvel movies that I haven't seen. So that's probably my favorite part of being sick, is that it gives me an excuse to catch up on movies, because I love movies, and I just really don't get to watch the ones that I want anymore since I had kids. So now it's like I kind of kick them out of the basement, and, I sit on that red recliner right there, and that's why I've been parked and watching my movies. So, yeah, that's probably been the best part. But one of the vitamins that I am taking, and I put in my smoothies, especially with being sick, I'm making sure I'm getting my smoothies, because, you're getting your antioxidants from blueberries and raspberries and strawberries and spinach and kale, and I'm putting ground flaxseed and apple cider vinegar, and I do put Juice Plus stuff in here. So yeah, if you're wondering what Juice Plus is, basically it's dehydrated fruits and vegetables. It's like a blend of 30 different types of fruits and vegetables that are dehydrated into little capsules. And instead of popping a bunch of capsules, I put them in my smoothies whenever I drink. Sorry. So another thing, my mom was telling me about these, because, if you've heard about elderberry syrup, how good it is for when you're sick. She got these at Food Lion. She said you can also get them at CVS, but Sambucas, they're lozenges, but they've got vitamin C, zinc, and black elder. It's really good for helping your body fight off viruses whenever you're getting sick and all that fun stuff. So, and they're actually really good. I do like taking those. And they're like candy. So you just sit there and suck on a piece of candy. One of the things that I that I did underestimate as well, as long as how my body would respond to COVID, is how hungry I would get. So I woke up, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, intermittent fasting is fantastic for the body to be able to, like, clear some stuff out. So when it's not digesting anything, it can focus on, okay, let's kill this virus, kill it. So I finished my last meal yesterday at 3:45 and I had the genius idea that I was like, I'm going to fast the rest of the day. Let my body, just try to clear this stuff up. I've had a fever. I've run a fever every day. Well, today was the first day that I did not run a fever. But I've run a fever on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And apparently that burns off a lot of calories. So I guess my body was kind of fiending. 12:30 last night, I woke up in a sweat and I was starving, like nauseated. I felt like I was going to throw up. I was so hungry. So I got up this morning out of curiosity. I was like, wow, it's abnormal that I'm that hungry. I'll step on the scale. I've lost 3 pounds. Not that I want or need to, but that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to spend the day replenishing. So basically, I've been eating like every 2 to 3 hours today, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So anyway, that's basically it for this week. I have 1 week until my birthday and the end of this plant-based challenge. So this is what it's like to have COVID. It has not been fun. My oxygen levels went down to 95% yesterday. They're normally 98 to 99% anytime I've gotten them checked at the doctor's office. And my husband got a pulse oximeter whenever COVID started. So he got it, and he just told me last night because my nurse friend was asking me if I had one, and I was like, no, I don't. But then my husband's like, yeah, we do. So I checked that, and it was 95 last night, and then this morning it was back up to 98. I checked it earlier, and it was 94. So I've been breathing exercises and trying to cough it up, trying to get it out. But so far I have not lost my sense of smell or taste. Please, oh my gosh, please don't let me lose that. That's my life. Now I did, when I ate lunch today, I noticed the flavor of the food that I ate wasn't as strong as it usually is, but it was still there. So fingers and toast cross. Fingers and toast? Did I say toast? Yes, I did. Oh my God. Go away, COVID. Nobody likes you. So anyway, that's it for this week. A little bit of progress is made every day. So let's just hope that it continues to do that, and I will continue going to bed before it gets dark, because that's what it's like these days, until I can feel better. But I've definitely been loading up on the melatonin and magnesium at night to help with sleep. And so anyway, that's it. Next week, when I come back and do an update, I will officially be 42. Woo! And in the next video, I'll tell you the big thing that I'm training for in 6.5 weeks. So stay tuned, and I will see you next week.